Project Mercury was the first human spaceflight program of the United States, running from 1958 through 1963. Not 68. What am I? Dyslexic? An early highlight of the space race, its goal was to put a man into Earth orbit and return safely, ideally before the Soviet Union. Taken over from the U.S. Air Force by the newly created civilian space agency, NASA, it conducted 20 uncrewed developmental flights, some using animals, but we all know how successful that was. So this is the Mercury Redstone. Pretty fancy shit. Right here is the engine, now with fins, because that's how you fucking move. This is the fuel tank. Can't stop at a gas station in space. What is this, No Man's Sky? This is the capsule, which at the bottom has a heat shield and a retro pack, which will be tested on this flight for later missions, like the what's it called again? I'm blanking on this. Mercury Atlas. There we go. On the Mercury Atlas. On top of that is the parachute for when you don't want a free skydiving lesson like Vostok. On top of all that is the launch escape tower. It's a tower that you use to escape the launch when your engine wants to combust outside the combustion chamber. Like I said, pretty fancy shit, but needs testing. So, November 21st, 1960, uncrewed Mercury Redstone sits on the pad when is that supposed to happen? No? Okay, so what the fuck just happened? Well, there are two plugs at the bottom of the rocket. One is supposed to come off before the other. Now, did they? Absolutely fucking not. The power plug attached just 29 milliseconds before the control plug, which was just enough time for the rocket's brain to freak out and immediately shut down the engine. Then, the escape tower. Seeing that the engine had completed in high and heavy quotations, its burn, assumed they were safely in space. So it said, I'm out, and fucking left the server. Meanwhile, the capsule, seeing that it was still sitting in the atmosphere under 1G, figured it was time to land and deploy the parachutes. 29 goddamn milliseconds. Now, we have a fully fueled live rocket just chilling on the pad. If this thing falls, it's going to absolutely N1 our entire launch complex. And with those loose parachutes catching the wind like a giant sail, yeah. If it tips, the builder is going to catch his hands. So, how do we fix it? Well, one guy suggested we just walk up to it and reattach the wires. Sure, bud. Go play tag with a live missile. Another guy suggested to get a cherry picker and manually cut the parachute. And one dude, I shit you not, suggested the JFK treatment. He wanted to get a rifle and shoot holes in the propellant tanks to drain them from a safe distance. Ultimately, they realized every single option was the death sentence. So NASA did what any elite space agency would do. They said, fuck it, packed up, went home for the night, and prayed the motherfucker wouldn't tip over in the wind. Next day comes, and you wouldn't fucking believe the luck. It was still upright.